Okay, let's look at this past WASSCE question for the general maths exam together. So it says, find the equation of the line that passes through the point -1, 2 and has gradient of -3 divided by 4. Okay, and these are the 4 different answers that we can get. So before we start it together, I want you to pause the video, try the question yourself, and then we can come back and do the problem together. So go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so for this one we are looking at the equation of a line, right? So there are a few different ways to write the equation for a line. The one that I think is the simplest that we will use together is y equals to mx plus c, or sometimes we call it b. It doesn't matter, either one. Okay, so we know x and y, these are the points on the line. So for this one, these are the 2 points that it gives us, right? -1 and 2. But we need to remember which one is which, right? So which one is x, which one is y. Alright, so to remember it, the first one is always going to be x, the second one will always be y. Okay, so instead of y, we're going to say 2 equals to m, let's go ahead and write that for now, times x, we said is -1, and then plus c, or plus b, whichever one you want to call it. Okay, so that's the x and the y. And now it also tells us the gradient is -3 divided by 4, right? So the gradient, sometimes we also call it the slope, they mean the same thing, will be this one, the m. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that one. Instead of m, this one will be -3 divided by 4. Okay, so to be able to solve for the equation of the line, you're first going to need to figure out what c is. So first, let's take this equation, let's solve it for c. So we can first simplify this one. We have -3 divided by 4 times -1. So we just look at it without the signs, right? 3 divided by 4 times 1 will just give us 3 divided by 4, right? So let's write that down on the right side. 3 divided by 4 plus c. Okay, before we move on, now let's look at the sign. We have a minus times a minus. So minus times a minus will give us a plus, right? So we have positive 3 divided by 4. Okay, so that's good. And on the left side, we just have the 2. Okay, now for this one will be a little bit tricky, right? We have c plus 3 divided by 4, or c plus 3/4. Okay, so this means we're going to be adding and subtracting a fraction, right? So let's first figure out, we're going to treat this one as all just one number, right? So we have plus c plus 3/4. To be able to transpose the 3/4 to the other side, we need to think what is the opposite of plus, right? This one is plus 3/4. The opposite of plus is going to be minus. We want to subtract 3/4 from both sides. Okay, so I'm going to write that over here. On the left side we have 2. I'll leave a space for us. On the right side we have 3/4 plus c. Now I'm going to use another color to help us. Like we said, to transpose the 3/4, we're going to subtract 3/4 from both sides. So we're going to say minus 3/4. On the left side, we're going to say minus 3/4 on the right side. Okay. So on the right side is simple, right? These ones should cancel. That's why we would transpose it this way. 3/4 minus 3/4, they cancel, they would give us 0, right? So on the right side, we're just going to have c. Okay. Now on the left side, this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky. This is where we're going to add, or in this case subtract, the fraction, right? We have 2 minus 3 divided by 4, right? Now if we remember the rules for adding and subtracting fractions, they both have to have the same bottom number, or the same denominator, to be able to subtract them, okay? For this one, the denominator is 4. For this one, it does not have a denominator. That means we can think of it as 1, right? Because 2 divided by 1 will just give us 2, right? Any number, if there's no denominator, we can think of it as 1. Okay. So we need to get both of these the same, right? So we need to think, what number can both of these go into, right? What number can 1 go into, and also 4 can go into, right? For this one, it is simple, right? If we just multiply them together, this is often one way you can look at it. 1 times 4 will give us 4, right? So 1 can go into 4, 4 can go into 4, right? So this is the number that we want to get on the bottom, all right? So for this one, we can just leave it the same. It's already 4 on the bottom, right? So 3 divided by 4, this one is already good. But now what we're going to do, we're going to change 2, right? So that we get a 4 on the bottom instead of a 1, right? It will still be 2, but we're going to rewrite this one so that we have a 4 on the bottom, right? So we need to think 1 times what number will give us 4, right? 1 times what number will give us 4? So 1 times 4 will give us 4, all right? So down here, I'm going to write it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the 2 divided by 1. We're going to multiply it by 4 on the top, and 4 on the bottom, right? So this is how we're going to rewrite the 2. It's still going to be 2, because all that we're really doing is multiplying it by 4 divided by 4. This is really just 1. So we're just we're multiplying it by 1 so that we can rewrite it as a new number, right? So on the top, 2 times 4 will give us 8. On the bottom, 1 times 4 will give us 4. So this is how we can rewrite the number 2 so that we have it with the denominator 4 on the bottom, right? So this is what we'll use. Again, this is really just the same number 2. We put this in our calculator, 8 divided by 4, it will give us 2, right? Because this number is still 2, we just rewrote it so that we can subtract it with the fractions. So instead of 2 divided by 1, we're going to say 8 divided by 4, 8/4. That's the same thing as 2. Okay, and we are subtracting them, right? So instead of 2, we have 8 divided by 4. Okay, now that was the most difficult part. Now we can just take this one, and we can do it very simply, right? So on the top, we have 8 minus 3 will give us 5. On the bottom, we just keep it as the same number, right? So this will be 4. So that we have C, the intercept of the line is what we call it, is 5/4. 5 divided by 4. Okay. Now the final thing that we need to do, we're going to go back to the equation of the line. We're going to put in, again, for M, the gradient, and C, the intercept, now that we found it, right? So I'll write it again down here. This time for the y and the x, we're just going to call them y and x, right? So we have y equals to m, right? Remember m, the gradient, was minus 3 divided by 4. Times x, and then plus 5 divided by 4. Right? Instead of c, we have 5 divided by 4. Okay, so now we just need to take this equation. This one is the equation of the line, but we need to rearrange it so that it looks like one of the answers that they give us here. Okay, so the first thing we can do, we can see both of them are divided by 4, right? So we want to transpose the 4 to the other side. We can take divide by 4, divide by 4. The opposite of that would be times 4, right? So we're going to take this one. We're going to times both sides by 4. Right? So on the left side, 4 times y, we'll just call that one 4y. On this side, 4 on top, 4 on bottom, they cancel. 4 on top, 4 on bottom, they cancel, right? So we have minus 3x plus 5. Okay, so you can see we're getting closer. But if we look here, we have both the x and the y on the same side. So let's go ahead and do that here. We need to transpose the minus 3x to this side so that it looks the same as these ones. Okay, so to transpose minus 3x, what is the opposite of minus? It is plus, right? So we want to add 3x on both sides. So let's say plus 3x and plus 3x. Right? So here, 3x and minus 3x, they cancel, right? So on the right side, we just have 5. On the left side, 3x plus 4y. Alright? Now we need to look at these ones and see which one is the correct answer. Okay? If we switch the order of these, this is okay, but we need to make sure we choose 3 is next to x and 4 is next to y. Right? So we look here. You can see this one looks similar, right? But is 4x. We would know this is incorrect. We want 3x, right? So here we have 3x and 4y and 5. So that means this one, C, is the correct answer, right? This one looks very similar. This is not correct, right? It's 4x instead of 4y, 3y instead of 3x, right? This one is the correct answer.